unlike the World Championship Tour, no second chances for our surfers. Unfortunately, we're going to see some big names, some favorites going down, just like we saw in that last heat. Yaden Nickel and David Ducarmo, they're out. Stu Kennedy and Jack Robinson, first and second. And now we're into a whole new heat. Round 4, Keikoa Casemiro, Eric De Vries, Evan Geiselman, Kaito Kino, 2 Hawaiians, South African, and a Floridian hitting the water. The waves are pumping. Chris Cote here with Ross Williams. Ross, scale to 1 to 10. What do you give Haleiwa today?
Ooh, let's go with a 7.5.
I like it.
It's really fun and rippable.
Here goes Kaito Kino from the very opposite side of the island. He is from town in the Honolulu area, and he is ripping on his opening wave. So no warm-up needed for Kaito Kino. Beautiful surfing all the way into the toilet bowl section, pulls out clean, and right behind him, Eric De Vries, the big South African powerhouse. He has been a QS grinder now for some time, looking for his big break. Found it a couple years back, hitting one of the biggest barrels probably ever seen in competition at Sunset Beach. So we'll see if he can continue his Vans Triple Crown of surfing roll. Always like to see what Eric De Vries can do when the waves get meaty.
Yeah, he's loose too, isn't he? He loves to kind of chuck his fins. He's got that really languid style, kind of a knock-kneed approach on those tail slides. So pretty diversified attack from Eric De Vries, and amazing wave selection there from Kaito Kino. And this was actually, I think, our first wave ridden in this heat during the break. Keikoa Casemiro, again, a couple of South Shore boys. Local kids from Hawaii, but both from the other side of the island, but they surf the North Shore all the time. But look at this gem right here, Chris. This wave is unbelievable. He gets about 6 turns on this thing and just absolutely sews them together. Each turn very seamless, not a whole lot of movement in between turns. I like that little hack right there, releasing the fins. So, I mean, this is going to be an awesome way to start the heat for Kaito. He's going to have a big score. And here's that languid style we're talking about from the big South African regular footer, Eric De Vries. Nice little snap there. Again, this looks like a step-up board here, just a touch long for me. But again, tying these turns together pretty well. And, you know, I think this is going to be a solid start for him, but it's looking like Kaito is going to get the best wave so far. But tell you what, look at that start right there from Kaito.
I like it. Kaito Kino with an 8.33. It's like all 4 surfers having a look. Evan Geiselman so far yet to catch a wave. 19 minutes and 15 seconds to go.
He's a great surfer, and so Evan Geiselman's been sitting forever, and it looks like he's going to pull the trigger on this little one.
All right, New Smyrna Beach, Florida. Evan Geiselman making the long trek to Haleiwa. Now he's got to make a long connection to get past this whitewater. So that was his first wave ridden with only 6 minutes, 23 seconds left to go. He's got to get back outside and try to get himself into something different. And he's got a front row seat to watch Keikoa Casemiro blasting this right-hander from the outside all the way to the inside. Now we see a flurry of action. So Evan Geiselman's wave choice from waiting almost 20 minutes with priority, and that's the wave he caught.
And he needed a couple inside scoops from Joel Centeo, because you could tell that's from Evan Geiselman. That was a wave that someone would take who's not from Haleiwa. You know, he was sitting right in that deep spot. That was one of those smaller waves that doesn't really want to jump up and break. And, you know, he went anyways just because he was a little impatient. But right out the back, this is what happened. So if Evan would have waited just 30 more seconds, he would have got this absolute bomb right here. Keikoa, nice snap. Another nice snap right there. You know, just got a little hung up on actually both turns, so I don't think Keikoa would say, hey, I absolutely killed this wave. But, you know, look how nice it is. It stayed open. It was a big set. So as soon as he stood up, as long as he didn't fall, he's going to grab himself a keeper of a score. So I don't think he'll be too dirty at himself, even though, you know, he didn't absolutely rip the bag out of that wave. But, you know, right now, Keikoa, he's going to grab himself more than a keeper, and that's good because he's only got that 3 so far.
I know how quick and whippy Keikoa can be. To me, those turns looked about 75% for what he's capable of. But again, if you're sitting on a 3.33 with under 5 minutes to go, maybe that's a smart move. We'll see Evan Geiselman trying to react from a long wait. His backhand can be deadly lethal. He blasts the tail on the end section. So maybe Evan Geiselman just suffering a little bit of a panic mode. Saw him pushing a little bit too hard on the end. And I'll tell you what, the priority can sometimes be a hot potato. Casemiro's score coming through. It's definitely going to be more than he needs. He's just looking at bettering a 3.01 for his second wave. Judges appreciating his approach. 6.83. He jumps into the lead. So the first heat of the day, we saw multiple scores in that above average range.
And then just a couple of smooth snaps to finish it on the bowl. He's got a 6.3 for that score right there. But this heat has been very slow. Not a lot of reps for these guys. And it's always tough to surf the way you want to when you're sitting there with cement shoes on, just waiting, dropping anchor. You know, it makes you kind of cold. It makes you a little bit nervous. So we'll see in the last 2 minutes who can kind of buckle down. If there's another handful of waves go through, who can surf without showing any nerves, because even Keikoa right there just looked a little, not 100% as you said,
yeah,
for Keikoa. So who can finish this heat off strong?
2 minutes to go. Now things are starting to get down to the wire. Here goes Beric DeVries. He only needs a 2.01. It's extended bottom turn, and a little snap float combo. Up into the lip, a little layback floater, which is a rare maneuver. But again, now you see all of these surfers kind of utilizing that same tactic. I wouldn't call it safety surfing, but I wouldn't call it on-edge surfing either. It's kind of somewhere in the middle. Again, a 75% effort, but I like that wave for Beric DeVries. You know, he only needed a 2.01, so I feel like he kind of put just enough on it to probably double what he needed.
I would say it's a fair judgment, and it's half of it is based on the conditions. You know, it's a little bit wonky right now. It's not super rippable, so these guys just trying to kind of manage the wave. You can see all the wonk. It's really easy to get bumped off your board, maybe catch some air under your fins when you don't want it. And here we go, live action.
All right, your leader, Keikoa Casimiro, his low-scoring wave of 3.33. Starts with a little setup floater, gets around this section. Now he goes vertical. That's the surfing that we're used to seeing from Keikoa. Up into a foam climb, pulls it off. Now Evan Geiselman trying to get back into this thing. It's just not looking like the Evan Geiselman that I've seen throughout the year. Finally putting a couple turns together. So far, this is definitely not the heat that he's wanted. Evan Geiselman, he's got a 2.77 and a 1.67. If I say that will be his best wave, but you see this, the body language right there, not stoked.
And a couple more scores to drop, but it looks like Kaito is going to hang on to that lead, and it looks like the other Hawaiian, the two young Hawaiians, holding on to this heat.
All right, here we go. We're counting down. So Kaito Kino, he is up in time. Nice looking open face wave here. This is one of the better looking waves of this heat so far. Love that second snap coming down at the lip. The element of danger is there. The judges love to see you risking it all on your turns. And Kaito Kino, great surfing throughout that entire heat. Definitely the most consistent, the best wave selection. He got that 8.33 to start. That kind of rolled the carpet out for him and allowed him the luxury to really kind of be a little bit more choosy than the rest of the guys in that heat.
Well, Beric DeVries is about to drop a score. He's looking like he's going to jump in a second, and he does. And Kaito Kino, that score has yet to drop, but it's going to have him way into the lead. So Beric, just some steady surfing, grabs himself just under a 5-pointer, and that might be enough, because I'm not sure Keikoa got another wave.
Wow. You know, just when you think things are really slow, the last 30 seconds of these heats just always has a way of flipping the script. So heat 4 is in the books. Unofficially, Kaito Kino gets the win with Beric DeVries in second. We are still waiting for a score for Keikoa Casimiro.
I wasn't positive he caught another wave, but Chris, it looks like he has. So let's see, he needs a 4.43. That's not much.
Yeah, I think he got a pretty solid backside snap.
Okay.
One big turn on that wave, and I feel like he thinks he got it. You know, you kind of see the
that's right. Okay, it's coming back to me now. He had that one finishing move, right?
Setup floater, big snap.
It was a nice snap. So that's not out of the question. A 4.43, that's in that realm. So on the hot seat right now, the South African, he has to wait for that number to drop from Keikoa.
Wow. This is just starting off the day with some drama. Keikoa Casimiro needed a 4.43. The score comes in. It is a 4.3, just under
so close.
What he needed. Beric DeVries dodges a bullet. Keikoa Casimiro just doesn't get